Hola, this is Catherine Rump here, and I'm going to give you a brief introduction to my Schoology course that I created, Los Deportes, the sports. This would be a course for Spanish 2 students, and we'll start by clicking on Empieza aquí, start here. In this folder, students would find an introduction and welcome to the class. ¿Quién es Señora Rump? An introduction to who is Mrs. Rump, discussion board guidelines and etiquette, and their first activity, which would be a welcome Flipgrid. So they would select the activity and it will bring them to the Flipgrid where it asks them to record a video and make an introduction in Spanish, including your name, how old are you, when is your birthday, a description of yourself, your likes and your dislikes. They're provided with a demonstration video that I created.
Hola y bienvenidos a la clase de Español 2. Me llamo Señora Rump y yo tengo 34 años. Mi cumpleaños es el...
So they would have that video as a model. They would click here to record their own video, and then they would be required to respond to 2 classmates' videos. Coming back into our Schoology course, we will go to Información General. This is just some general information for the course. Welcome, syllabus, and this is the syllabus specific to this Schoology course, and it will give them information here about the course, how to contact the teacher, online office hours, the standards that we will address, and then our 4 lessons with the objectives, readings or resources, activities and assignments, and their due date and point values. Going back to materials, Recursos discusses the resources that students may need to use. Some of them are other programs that they will have access to, and some are grammar, dictionary, YouTube channels, our online textbook, and the references for the course that they can see if they click here. We'll skip over the actual lessons. We'll discuss those in a moment. Necesitas ayuda is do you need help? This brings them to the Schoology support page, which will help them with frequently asked questions and how to navigate this system. Finally, here at the bottom, Discusión General. This is the general discussion board where students can ask questions of each other and of the instructor as they're completing materials in the course. Now we'll look at the Los Deportes Unit 1 Sports 4 lessons. Here are the essential questions, las preguntas esenciales. ¿Cuál es tu deporte favorito? ¿Por qué? What is your favorite sport and why? ¿Qué necesitas para jugar los deportes? What do you need to play sports? ¿Dónde se juegan los deportes? Where do they play sports? ¿Qué puedes hacer cuando juegas los deportes? ¿Qué no puedes hacer? What can you do when you play sports? What can't you do? And finally, ¿quiénes son jugadores famosos? Who are famous players? The 4 lessons here, we have day 1, 2, 3, and 4. This doesn't necessarily mean that they would be completed right in order, days 1, 2, 3, or 4, or that they would only take 1 day. I just organized it this way for the sake of this Schoology course. So if we are looking at their 4 days of lessons here, day 1, they would be introduced to the vocabulary related to sports and sport equipment. They would be asked to create Quizlet flashcards that they would share here and create a very brief introductory slideshow, mi deporte favorito, my favorite sports, and create a screencast with the slides. They also have video comprehension using the program This is Language. They would have access to the program where they would be assigned to watch these 2 accompanying videos. They are Spanish speakers who've been interviewed and are responding to a prompt, in this case discussing their favorite sport, and there will be accompanying activities with vocabulary and comprehension questions. Video activities must receive at least an 80% accuracy. Going back to day 2, they would be doing the video lesson about stem changing verbs, which I recorded here. So this is a lesson that I created for them.
Or the essential.
And there are accompanying notes and activities going with the video. In day 3, they would be introduced to their final project, sports in Spanish-speaking countries, and they'd be working in groups where they could sign up here for which country and sport they would be researching. And they'll also be using this authentic resource, Pocoyo. It's actually a television series made for children in Spain, but it's very useful for students who are still in the novice or intermediate level to answer questions. Watch that. And the video is all about Pocoyo and his friends playing sports, and there will be accompanying questions and a discussion board. It gives you the rubric here, responding in Spanish and responding to 2 classmates. Finally, day 4. Students would be introduced to Los Niños Triqui, who are children from Mexico playing basketball. And here they would be turning in their sports in Spanish-speaking country presentation and screencast, and completing a group work rating scale. So that's the overview of my Schoology course for Los Deportes. I hope you enjoyed it, and I thank you so much for listening. Adios!